What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing some engine bay cleanup, which I'm super excited for, and revealing our new accent color for the valve cover and the calipers. The calipers we'll do another time, but the valve cover is all done. It's looking pretty, and we got a bunch of goodies on the table, which we'll go over now. So we have an assortment of parts here. For starters, these are my new valve cover bolts, dress-up bolts, however you want to call them, from JD Customs. They make some nice stuff. I also got their shifter bushings, which maybe we'll get to today, we'll see. And I bought a Radium clutch fork stop, which is super nice. I think we'll do more with this company as well in the future. This here is a electronic boost controller mount. It's billet, anodized black. It looks awesome. That's going to clean things up. We got some boost hose just so we can clean all the mess that's in there. We got the Kigley oil pressure regulator. That's going to go in replace of this stock little guy here. These are the OE gaskets. I powder coated a bunch of little stuff on the valve cover already, as well as the valve cover. We have some sealant for the edges of the cam caps. This is a nice little front plate that will sit in front of the valve cover. We got our logo in there, which is pretty awesome. And the guys at JD Customs did a nice job. And this is our new Coil Plug Kit. It's the GTR coils, so that will last us hopefully forever. We shouldn't have any issues with that. What else do we have? Oh, the injectors. These injectors I actually got from a buddy of mine, Steve. He hooked it up, and I was able to send them to FIC. They cleaned them, tested them, gave me new hats. Believe it or not, these were meant for a Volkswagen GTI, but the body of the injector stays the same, and all they do is change the hats. So these injectors now are made for an Evo 9 with the new hats. So that was pretty cool. It was $100 to send them out, get them cleaned, get them tested, and they gave me all new aluminum caps. So pretty awesome. All right, so this is what we'll be starting with. Also, almost forgot, I have these little jump harnesses for the injectors. The injectors won't be going in now. We'll do that later when we get the car retuned again. But these little jump harnesses, I wanted to extend the OEM harness for the injectors. I'm gonna try to tuck the harness underneath the manifold to clean things up. So I was able to scoop these up. I forget where I got these from, but if I find it, I'll put it in the link in the description as well. I'll try to link all this stuff as well in there, so you guys could check it all out and buy yourselves anything you like if you like any of this stuff. All right, let's get to it. All right, the Kigley HLA is installed. Pretty simple, 3 bolts in and out. So let's move on to the next thing. I'm really dreading doing this harness, but it's got to get done. It's gonna look so much better. So I guess we'll get started on that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna film too much of it, but I'll let you know how I make out. So I'm installing my little harnesses, and something fun showed up. I think some of you might know what that logo is. This is gonna be good. I can't wait. All right, little progress update. And I really have to pick up a damn light. This sucks. I think I'm just gonna order the ones from Scan Grip. Has a set of lights that goes across the hood, and they have like a little one with a magnet. Just gonna buy those from Obsessed Garage, call it a day. Every time I go work on the car, it's always an issue with lights. So anywho, I took off the strut tower bar, the upper intercooler pipe. I have all my plugs labeled, so when I go under the manifold and come out the other end, I know where everything goes. I have my little jump harnesses installed. So now it's just a matter of going under there and wiring everything through the bottom. Hopefully it works out. So that's how everything looks so far. Wiring is not my best forte. I think that's how you say it. So doing my best here to run this as nicely as possible, tuck everything in, and get it done. It already looks cleaner, maybe because the strut tower bar is in there, but it's gonna be nice. A little more progress. I opened up the loom on the harness just to give myself a little extra room when I run everything underneath, and then it released the harness that goes to this camshaft sensor over here. So once I have this loomed back up, hopefully I can run everything underneath and get it connected back up. That'd be awesome. We'll see how it goes. All right, we're all sealed back up. It gave me maybe like another inch or two, which is hopefully it'll help a little bit. Get me down there, and then ran all the way across. It doesn't look like much right now, but that harness is back there. It's under the manifold. My little jump harnesses worked out well. Gave me just enough slack to kind of run them up here. The main harness is all tucked under there. I had to run in a weird spot over that. There's like I guess a coolant hose over there. I had to run the harness over that to give me enough room to go all the way around for some of these plugs back here to clip in, especially that one. But it gave me enough room, so I think it'll be okay. It tucks all the O2 sensor wires and whatever other wires that run back there. It tucks them a little lower, so when the wires go over the valve cover, or yeah, I guess over the valve cover, they'll be tucked away back there instead of laying on top. And that's pretty much it. It took forever because I had to almost do it twice. My hands are all cut up. Good times, but it's all pretty much wrapped up. Now it's just putting the rest of this stuff together, but definitely cleans it up a good amount. And even this secondary harness that runs back here, I ran that underneath as well, so it's kind of tucked away. So when we do the intake manifold and the new piping and battery relocation and all that, we'll mess with it more, try to tuck as much as we can, and then, you know, do what we can. That way it's nice and clean, or as clean as it possibly can be without running like a custom tuck harness or whatever. Anyways, back to it. We'll update soon. The view is very familiar, but now we have all these surfaces free of silicone. And then when we apply new silicone, it'll be nice and clean. I think I'm gonna take off the intake next and mess with my poor boost controller and these messy lines. Get that all cleaned up, and then finish everything up. We don't have much left. I think it's just gonna be the valve cover. Oh, I also got a new cam cover as well. So this boost hose is gonna come in handy. I think I'm gonna reroute this line and all the ones down there. Should be good to go. I don't know why somebody would do this, but this sucks. It's all like covered in this felt stuff. I'm gonna have to sit there and clean all that off. Come on, man. I think maybe some alcohol, a little scrubbing will take this off. Now we're getting somewhere. After a little scrubbing and lacquer thinner to get the glue off, it's in its final spot. This is a Race Art boost controller holder mount. It looks awesome. Now we just got to figure out where to mount it. I like this. I like this a lot. All right, I think I found a good spot for it. It comes with a nice little Allen bolt, and I put a couple of pieces of foam so it's not a metal on metal, but that's where it's gonna go, right on that frame rail. There's like a little bolt right there, little hole right there with a bolt for a 10 mil. So that's where it's gonna go. Now that the boost controller is mounted, it's looking good. I'm gonna reroute all the boost lines with a new hose. I'm gonna wrap them really nicely underneath by the tranny, to the turbo, to the wastegate, and then I'm gonna run a new boost hose that runs from the intake manifold to the top of the blow-off valve too. So that should clean things up and get us all set as far as that goes. This is taking way too long than it should, but damn, that's fresh. Got that mounted, as you know. I ran all the lines. They're tucked away under there. This is the speed density sensor, and I ran the harness for this and the boost controller behind the frame rail next to the ACD pump and underneath. So now it's nicely tucked under there. The new boost lines are all nicely routed. There's no splices, no nothing. I just got to put a couple of zip ties here, and I found this. I had this Brembo bleeder cover that I had laying around, so I just popped that on there on the sleeve. It works good. It's a perfect fit. I don't know if it's supposed to be there or not, but it's on there now, for now at least. Just clean things up. It's the little things. I love how everything's coming out though. I know this is like such a minor detail, but this is so good. It's making me happy, and that's all that matters. That's why I bought the car. Here's how everything looks underneath. There's the boost controller from this angle. I have all the lines routed under here, and then they go up into the wastegate and the turbo back there. This is that harness that I was talking about for speed density and the boost controller. So I have to zip tie this together real nice. And this is gonna be really hard to see, but it kind of comes down by the ACD reservoir hoses there, and I zip tied it to the ACD bracket so it can't move. And if you're worried about water or anything like this car is probably never going to get driven in water. So, and even if it does, it's not a huge deal. These are all sealed up. I'm probably going to seal this up a little bit too, just so it's nice and clean. And that's pretty much it for under here. Not too shabby. All right, spent a little time cleaning up this frame rail. All the wiring that was like in front of the ACD reservoir is now running behind it. It's a little tight, but it's all pretty free in there, so it should be okay. But yeah, it kind of cleaned up that whole rail. So when we get rid of the battery up here, it's really gonna clean things up. It should look good. Eventually, I'm going to have to do the JDM headlight conversion. The RSs never came with HIDs, so it requires a whole nother harness from like an SSL or a car with HIDs and fog lights. So I have to swap over, I think it's this fuse box and this harness that runs to the cabin. So once we do that, I think I'll be able to clean this up a little bit better even, and just kind of go from there. So, but for now, this is good. I'm happy with the progress, and then we continue on. All right, next thing on the list was to do the Radium, there we go, to do the Radium clutch fork stopper. In their instructions, they say to leave about a 1/16 of an inch away from the clutch fork. So that's what we did. We tightened that up. I did put a little anti-seize on there. The bolts that were in there were pretty seized, so it took me a little bit to get that out. And then I have this Synapse blow valve that's been in here since I got the car. I'm not a huge fan of it, but all this routing and that blow valve is gonna go one day. So for now, I cut up the original hose that it came with, and I kind of routed it this way, so it's kind of hidden, tucked away. And then I'm actually gonna use the cut up portion of it and angle it down, because this actually sprays a little bit of oil out, makes a mess of things. So we'll clean that up. And the line that goes from the bottom of the blow valve, I routed it under there, I tucked it, and now it just kind of comes up here, and we're pretty much there. Pop the intake back in. I have to find a hose clamp for that little elbow that I was talking about earlier. Battery's back in. The only thing left to do is just the valve cover, and then we can finally reveal the new color for the accent color of this car. It'll be nice. This is taking me way longer than I freaking ever imagined, but it's coming together. As we discussed before, all that stuff is done right there. Intake, intercooler pipe, all the sensors, all the boost lines, the boost controller mount, everything's ready. Everything on the manifold is rerouted. Everything's under there. All we have to do is plug in the sensors. And then I bought from JDC titanium hardware, which I'm gonna use what I can with it. This is meant for like an OEM full kit. So I have a couple extra bolts I might be able to reuse elsewhere. And we're gonna reveal the color. Damn, that's surprising. That's all right. That's just E85, I think. Let's try, give her another go. It's been a while, so hopefully she'll start up on the next one. E85's been sitting, everything's been unplugged, so I'm hoping that it's just relearning everything. All right, it looks like she's running. No check engine lights yet. We're gonna go for a test drive and hopefully she's good. Gonna now finally reveal the color and everything else that we did to it. I'll do a little cinematic or pretend to do so because I don't really know what the hell I'm doing, but I'll make it look good as possible. Back in business, baby.